Hello, this is Patrick. Welcome to Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. Well, a really good week for us, besides the S&P 500 short that we got stopped out of, which probably will be good on Monday, given what happened in Iran. There should be a lot of volatility and all those good things, but news-related items you can't control. But let's get into the nine buy recommendations. So we got a lot to cover. I'm going to try to be precise as much as I'm capable of. I'm doing these kind of in order, what I think have the best potential right now. And again, I would guess that energy would be up a lot on Monday, given Iran is a huge oil producer. So, but you never know. Whatever, the markets are saying, the premise of technical analysis is that the markets are not rational, they're driven by human emotions. So we could see, I think after when the Iraq war started, the markets were way down in the morning and they rallied and actually ended up on the day. You don't know. That doesn't mean that's going to happen this time. You just never know. You can't really plan for that. But Saudi Arabia is a buy, and I'm doing these in order what I think look the most attractive right now. And so this is the big consolidation going back 1, 2, 3 years. And this was actually where we initiated with a buy. I'm sorry I blocked that out for my newsletter. For a firm I do those for, the monthly newsletter. So we're down in this. This has not been, but when do I buy? I buy on red. I buy when things are down. When do I sell? I sell when they're up. So you can see we're down close to the support line of the triangle. And so I think this is a really good place to get involved. And I'd be a buyer of KSA, the Saudi Arabia ETF. And this is a short-term chart. So here's your long-term chart going back, 4 years or so. And now we're just going to look at this part right here. And this is why I am bullish on this. We have a rainbow convergence, a bearish rainbow convergence coming up here. And what that means is prices will either pause till the moving averages drift down, or most likely you'll see a type 2 retracement where prices retrace back to the cluster of moving averages. We've been seeing that a lot lately, and we also have a gap here that's probably going to be filled at some point. So if you're able to buy it here, you probably got a free ride to 38.25, which is 3% or so. And then we got to see if it can break through this. If it breaks through this, we're off to the races. If it can, I'll be coming out with a neutral rating whenever that happens. But right now, I think that Saudi Arabia, given the fact that it's declined quite a bit, 5% or so, would give me, uh, would, I was buying on Friday. And again, I was buying both of these days on this gap down. And also our point and figure chart. Followers of mine, you know that I like looking at point and figure charts for confirmations of these are the least subjective charts there are. They're just strictly supply and demand. And you can see this big consolidation after this big spike up in 2020. And it's been working off that oversold condition and allowing our bullish trend line to come up and meet the price. So this is just confirmation of a really strong consolidation on my chart in the form of a triangle. You'll also see the bullish price projection is 51 based on this point and figure chart. My new recommendation, this was on Thursday, Antero Resources, and the commentary on this was that, I've been big on energy going back to October, and it's up, what, 25% or so in the last couple of months or few months. And, who knows what's going to happen on Monday with oil. It could go, I would think it would be a bullish event for oil prices. but I've been talking about when I initiated on this 2 days ago that I think you're going to start to see a handoff. So from from crude oil to natural gas, and I think natural gas is approaching a very important bottom and could be a really big winner over the next few months. And Antero Resources, a big natural gas producer, refiner, is going to be the beneficiary. And here's your big 1, 2, 3 year consolidation. I mean, if I didn't look at the name on it, it'd look like Saudi Arabia, even though Saudi Arabia is more oil than natural gas. But these are both huge consolidations. And this has been really kind of back and forth since its breakout. You can see the different trades I've here, and I'm not giving up on this. And I initiated on Thursday and Friday. This was up 5% on the day, 5+% on the day, and 3.5% on the week. And it broke out of a smaller consolidation here. Our price projection is 63 based on the width of the base of this pattern, and then you project that distance upwards. So it's got a lot of upside here. You know, you're looking at close to 100% if it's able to meet that. And again, price projections are just landing areas. They're not, I'm not going to sit and wait for 63. I'm going to sell when I start to see negative divergences and things. So, but the big picture here looks really good, and last week was really bullish. And this is a short term. This is that small consolidation here, the small triangle. And you can see that I talked about when I initiated on Thursday night, and then you can see what happened on Friday, and it broke out of this. So this should keep going. This is the way you like to see a definitive breakout. You like to see it on good volume. So this looks good right now. Okay, so this is the third stock in or this is the third investment in order that I think has a lot of potential. This is GameStop. This is the big. Uh, I don't know. I probably got like 50 subscribers when I initiated on this, and I don't read the. I don't even know the names of those chat rooms, the investment chat rooms that all these novices want to gamble and throw all their money into a stock. But this pattern is looks really good. A, B, C, D, E, and it's backed off now. And we have a confluence of moving averages here at support. If we're able to break out, we got a $72 price projection. I don't know, that's probably what, 200% higher or something. So, but one step at a time. We're still within this consolidation. It has not broken out yet. But what I like on a short-term basis, I'm going to show you now, is that one of the tools that a market technician may use, I use it, is the Elliott wave theory, which believes that trends or cycles go in waves of five, with 1, 3, and 5 in the direction of the bigger trend, and 2 and 4 are counter trend reactions. But the good news here is that we have a 5-wave advance. So that's saying the trend has gone from down to up. And now it looks to me like we got a 3-wave correction with a nice bullish hammer here. And so if that's right, then we're entering a third wave. And for followers of mine, I'm always searching for third waves in bullish trends because third waves are the most powerful and most profitable. And so if that's true, this thing could really take off. The downside of GameStop is that it's a small cap stock. And if the market's down, 1,000 points, the Dow's down 1,000 points on Monday, I don't know that this is going to be up. So that's the risk. And usually small caps are down more than some of the large blue chips. So that is the risk here. Okay, the next buy recommendation is India. This is again one that we're not up on. I'm buying things that are down that I've recommended, not up. Even though GameStop were up, Antero Resources were up, I just think those have a lot of upside and are just beginning their breakouts. They're not, uh, you know, sky high, like a couple I'm going to show you, a couple recommendations that I've had, which I'm not as bullish on now because of that. So India, here we got a year and a half to 2 year consolidation. And here's where we purchased. We're down a little bit, getting close to the support area. I like this big white bar that we got right here, which is on huge volume. That tells me there's some buyers that are buying at these levels down by support. So let's see what else I got here for you on this. Okay, so this is just a daily chart, and I'm just showing you to give you some context here, just this little part. Okay. And what I like about this is that we had a five-wave advance again, similar to GameStop. One, two, three. Look at the big third wave. Four, five. And then we got a correction. Looks to me like a three-wave correction. So these are overlapping waves. So it's not, the direction is up according to the Elliott wave theory right now in India. So I'd be buying on this dip. And the point and figure chart, we got a bullish trend line in place, and we've had a consolidation. We've worked off some of the overbought condition here. So I think India looks great. So this is something, I don't like to have everything in one area. And when you get into Antero Resources, which is a commodity, based on natural gas prices, and you got emerging markets, especially like Saudi Arabia, that's tied to energy. We got a couple more coming up that have done really well, like Brazil, like the iShares Commodity Index, which all those have done really well. I want some diversification. So, here is a nice bullish inverse head and shoulders pattern on healthcare, the healthcare ETF, FXH. And this is like a man or woman hanging upside down. You got the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and the neckline. And we broke out and we came back and we retested and we retested. And you can see all these bullish hammers that have formed, which mean they open the week at the top, intra-week they sell down, and then they close up near the top of the week's price action. You see those wicks there. And you see one, two, three, four of those. So hopefully that will hold for us because it gives us a really good reward to risk with my stop at, 112 and we're at 116, 116, yeah, 116. And the price projection here is 138. So, I don't know, is it 18% potential upside, something like that? But when I look at the point and figure chart on this, it's telling me if there's more here. So look at this big. So, pay attention when you see poles. That's any column of 10 rows, a row of X's with more than 10 in it without any kind of correction. That tells you it's overbought. I know it sounds kind of primitive, but that is point and figure, which was one of the first technical analysis tools way back in the 50s when before computers, they'd use it. They'd actually hand write all these things. God, can you imagine that? But we've gotten a nice pullback and it gives us a chance to buy it. Now look at the price projection here where mine was what, 138? Based on the point and figure chart, this huge consolidation over what, about 5 years, price projection's 166. That's a long way up. So yeah, I think you can buy this and really feel good. Now watch, it'll break support and we'll get stopped out, but I like that. Okay, we're back to emerging markets. And as you know, AI stocks and technology stocks have gotten crushed. And of course, I didn't choose FXI as the Chinese ETF. I chose KWEB. This is the internet shares for Chinese internet stocks. And here's our big bullish trend line. Here's our big bullish pattern right here, A, B, C, D, E. Breakout, you measure the base, you project up, you come up with 51, let's call it, and we're down close to 31. I don't like this slight break, but we're going to give it, we're going to give it its due. You can see we have the confluence of moving averages. This is a weekly chart, so each bar represents a week of price action. And you can see these lines are just going to touch next week. And so either we're going to get a pause in the decline or we're going to get a retracement back to the cluster of moving averages up around 34, 35. So that is the big picture on this. I think this is do or die. Point and figure chart is saying if we go down much more at all, we're going to break our bullish trend line, and I would throw in the towel on that. So you could buy this. I was buying it on Friday. You could buy this on Monday if it doesn't break. I would say if it's below 30, you're done. I'm going to be out of it. I'll be doing an update, but your reward to risk is massive right now. So, putting a little bit of money in KWeb would be, sounds like it makes sense to me. So the last two that I'm going to show you are two that have already moved to astronomical levels, and I would not be chasing those at this point in time. That's why they're towards the bottom. What do I do on up weeks? I'm selling. I'm selling. So here's the iShares. This is energy, uh, heavily weighted towards energy for a broad commodity index. This is like, I want to say it's 60% or is it 70% energy and mostly crude oil and some natural gas. And so again, if crude oil spikes on Monday, this is going to really skyrocket. Um, And so this was a safer way to play it than crude oil because it had already broken out. Crude oil is on the same pattern, just right here now. And so, yeah, the price projection here is 31. We're at, we hit a high at 26.5 and then sold off a little bit. We got our stop at 24. My guess is we will hit a higher high here, and then we're going to have to start looking to selling some of this. Again, I do sell like on this big bar here. I mean, this went during the week from 25 to 26.50 and then ended up back down by 25.5. I'm selling into the strength and I'm buying when it dips and I'm selling on the strength. So, if it spikes on Monday, I'll be selling, a good amount. I always keep some because it hasn't reached its price projection. Okay, here's Brazil. This has gone vertical. So look at this huge pattern. This is a 6 year ascending triangle with an ascending support line and a flat resistance line. And here's where we bought, and it's going vertical. Okay, look at how overbought it is. So I've raised my stop now up to 36.50. Price projection here is 51. Let's take a look at the daily, though. I think this is going to tell me. So when I look at this, what I see is an ending diagonal pattern, according to Edwards and McGee, that are found towards the end of major market moves. And, after something going vertical, I would say this is a short-term end of a major move. And it's two converging trend lines. And you got A, B, C, D. Should have one more high here and then maybe we get some sort of sell-off. And look, we're already getting a negative divergence. This is on our daily chart. This was on a weekly chart. Each bar represents a week. And so, this is making me really nervous. I'm glad I didn't sell yet. I've been selling some on up days and then I buy on down days. And so we hit a new high and we don't get this taken care of with a higher high. I will be selling it probably more than I have been. I'll be bringing this down to a minimum. But I don't think this is done. I just think we're going to get a correction then. And why do I not think it's done? Well, the price projection based on my subjective chart is 51, right? 51, yeah, 51. And we're at 39. Look at the point and figure chart. I mean, this is called overextended. Look at this. I don't know. That's what, 20, a column of 20 X's here in a row without it correcting at all. This price projection based on the point and figure chart is 73. But this is telling me short term, I really want to lighten up on this And then I will be going back in when I can get a pullback in this. So this is saying 73. This said 51, I believe. Okay. So again, this is at the end. This is at the bottom of my buy list. This is something that I would never be chasing this now. I'm definitely going to be selling. And this was one that I already went neutral on. Too bad because if oil's up a lot, this will probably, well, you never know. If the S&P is down 100, I doubt if Chevron will be up very much, but oil could be up a lot, even with the market down. But we're at neutral here on Chevron. I'm looking, see, we're way overbought, similar to Brazil. I'm waiting for some sort of pullback, and then I'll get involved again. Thank you for watching Chart Built Wealth, Profitable Investing with Technical Analysis. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, neighbors, family. I think the recommendations have been pretty good. And have a great rest of your weekend. Adios.